Hello, good morning all.
Good morning, sir.
Okay, so let's wait for a few minutes so other people can join, then we will start today's session. Okay, so meanwhile, other people are joining. We will see what we have did in the last session. So in the last sessions, we have completed circuit switching, and we have seen what is the difference between circuit and packet switching. So there we have seen that in the circuit switching, we are having a dedicated path. So we need to follow that path. And in packet switching, we don't have a dedicated path. We will send our message from the different switches or router. So today we are going to start with the packet switching. So our today's session is composed of packet switching. Now the packet switching is also divided in two categories. So we are going to see both the type of switching, that is datagram switching and virtual circuit network. So we are going to see both of the things today, how they are doing or how the switching has been placed in these two types of network, datagram network and virtual circuit network. So before starting that session, let's have a quick animated video where you are going to learn how the switching has been taken place or how the message is sending from one place to another place. So first you are having a message. So we are splicing them and we have converted into packets. And the packet is having some sequence number 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you arrange the sequence in this format, then only you can retrieve your message. So every message, every packet will have the destination address. So this is the responsibility of the network layer. So he should assign the sender and receiver address. So he is assigning its receiver address, which is written at the bottom of the packet in yellow color. So this is a IP which has been assigned to each packet. So each packet will arrive at the same destination point. Now the message will travel through the path and it will arrive at your destination. So if your message size is big, then the number of packets required will be higher. If your size will be less, then the packet number of packets will be lesser. So first thing you need to break the message in small parts. Then you need to add the destination address, and the third will be you have to send that message from the network. Now the message can be flow in the network in different ways. So there are two types of flowing of that message, or you can say there are two types of network where the message is flowing. First one is known as datagram, and second one is known as virtual circuit. So what we need to do, we need to route that message properly so that message can arrive at the destination point. So there are two methods of routing. One, in packet switch network, first one is datagram, and second one is virtual circuit. So we are going to learn what is the difference between datagram and virtual circuit network. So first thing you need to understand that what is the difference between circuit switch network and packet switch network. So in packet switch network, we are not reserving our resources. So all the resources, those resources are free that can be used at any time. But in the case of circuit switch network, we have reserved the resources for the transmission. So if first you need to prepare from which channel your message is traveling, then you have to reserve that channel throughout the communication process, or you can say throughout the process when your message is transmitting from point A to point B. Throughout that process, the whole resources will be reserved. But in this case, where you are going to study packet switch network, here you are need not to reserve all the resources. So that resources can be utilized effectively. So that's why these two networks, or you can say two types of switch methods, has been used in the routing. So these methods are generally used to send the message from sender to receiver. So first we are going to study the datagram method. So say for example, this is a different switches are available, and we are having a message which can be transmitted through any of the path. So we need to route that message from the different paths. So how that can be done? So every message is processed at each node. So he will see where the node is free or where the switch is free. Wherever the switch is free, the message will be routed from that path. So if your packet is, say for example, if you're having 9 nodes and message is the first node is free, so it will travel to the first node. If your second node is free at that time, it will flow from the second node. Those nodes are free that can be flow from that node. So that is the main advantage of using datagram switch network. So fastest route will be follow. So if you take example of bus, so now we are having a school trip and we are having a different route, and they have to reach to this destination. So now for this picnic point, or you can say any point, there are various buses are there which have to reach to this point. So how they are going to route, just you can see in the animation. So first follow the different path, second will follow the different path, third bus follows a different path. All the buses will follow the different path to reach at the destination point. So if they feel some traffic is there or some work on the road is there, so they cannot flow properly, so they will choose the another route, or the different route will be there. So on the basis of different condition, traffic condition, he will choose the different order. But at the all the buses will be reached at the destination. So our main target will be achieved. So switch is just a cross section of a road. So where you can find the four way. So here you are seeing here two lanes are merging. So this is a type of switch. So you can route from the any path. So you can go from the north to south. You can from east to west, north to south, north to east. So you can select any direction for reaching up to your destination point. So on the basis of your traffic condition or road condition, they will choose the path. So you can see here, first you need to divide your message. Then each message will have to arrive at this point, receiver A. Then each packet will have the sequence number 1, 2, 3, 4, and each packet will have the IP address of your destination. At the receiving side, you will receive all the message, you will reassemble all the message, and you will retrieve the message. So in this way, you are going to receive the message. So this is packet switching. Uh, in packet, datagram switching is used. So normally it will choose the shortest path, or you can say the which will be transmit your message faster. So it will choose that path. So in this method, the disadvantage of using this network is the message which is arriving at the receiver end, you need to rearrange properly, because what will happen, it may happen that first message or first part of your message has been routed from that path, and that is having some delay. So it found some delay in the path, and the second message doesn't found any delay, so he reached first. Now they reach at the different time. So at the receiver side, you need to rearrange your packets properly so that you can retrieve your message properly. So that is the main target. So that for that purpose, you will need some time for, or you have to wait for all the packets to be received. Second, then you have to rearrange it. So it will take little bit longer time. So that's why this is the disadvantage of using datagram network. So the typical example of datagram network is TCP/IP, or you can say your internet. So in the internet, your message is traveling from the different router. So wherever they found the free path, your message will be routed from that path. Now we see the second example, that is virtual circuit. So what in the virtual circuit, what he do? He first test all the paths from source to destination. Then he selects the best path which can be used to transmit your message from source A to source B. So in this case, you will have the shortest path and the quickest path from source A to source B. So you can send the message in the fastest way. So this kind of method is used in the virtual circuit method. So say for example, we are having four routers here, and here in this router, we are having some work there, or you can say some working is there, or it is having some malfunctionality. So he will select the best path. So he will route from this path. He will not choose this path. So all the message will be traveled from the dotted line path. So he will avoid this path. So all the packets will travel from this path. So the rearrangement will become easier in this case, because all the message is traveling from the same path. So that's why the message arrived at the receiver end will be in order. So if you see in the case of school buses, what we have taken in the previous example, so here they have to follow the same path and they will follow in a line. So you can see that in this animation, they are following the same line. So this is the virtual circuit method. So advantages of use virtual circuit method versus datagram. So sorted received packets of the means. So recomposition, or you can say rearranging of the message is easier as compared to the previous one, because all the message is traveling from the same path. So they will be in order. So if they are in order, you can rearrange the message very quickly. So just it's a animation, another animation where you are sending some information. So it will follow the same path from source to destination, which is shown in the bold yellow color. So first he will select the path and then he will send the message. So now the message will be very much quicker as compared to the previous. So first thing, what will happen? Breaking of message in small parts. Then you need to select a particular path which is having the maximum, or you can say minimum delay and the maximum efficiency. Then he will send all the packets to that path. That is your virtual circuit. And in datagram network, we are having it. Every message will be routed from the different path. So that is the main difference between datagram and virtual circuit. So this is all about this video. So now we are going to see what we are going to cover today. So before starting of this topic, I have already shown the animation so you can understand it properly. So now in the video we have seen two types of network. So today we are going to discuss. we are going to discuss about the datagram network, which is a part of circuit switch network. And second, we are going to see the virtual network. Okay. So in data communication, we need to send message from one end system to another end system. So if message is passing through the packet switch network, it needs to divide it into packets of fixed or variable size. So mostly, if you see, the packet size will be fixed, but in some special cases, it can be a variable packet size. And it can be decided by the protocol you are using for transmission of your message from one end system to another end system. So in this topic, what we are going to discuss, first we are going to discuss how the routing table has been created, how the efficiency is evaluated, then we are going to see the delay in the datagram network, and how it is used in the internet. So we have seen the main example of datagram network is your TCP/IP protocol. So as we have seen in the previous session, that example of datagram network is internet. The internet is governed by TCP/IP protocol. So TCP/IP protocols, or you can say the set of instructions which is written in TCP/IP protocol will be followed by your datagram network. So first we will see what we are not doing here, and then we move to the next thing. So this is a type of packet switching. So here we are not having a resource allocation for a packet. So every packet will be routed from the different path. So we will not have a particular path for the message. So we need not to reallocate, or you need not to allocate a resource or fixed resources in your transmission of a message. So here the resources will be allocated on the demand. So whenever you are having packets or you need that router, that at that time that will be allocated. Otherwise, that router will be free. So that's why it becomes a very efficient method to send a message from one end system to another end system. And how the allocation has been made? So there should be some process, like two or three people came together. So which people should get the access of that router. So it is done on the first come first serve. So whichever packet will receive the first, he will process that packet first. So that is the main, or you can say the protocol of following the or sending the message over the network. So in this type of network, when when switch is receiving your packet, so it doesn't bother about your source and destination. So he will wait, the switch will wait for the another packet for process. So what he will do, he will pass the message to another router. He will not bother where you are sending, from where the message is arriving. So this is not seen to be part of your router. So router is not responsible for that. So here the main issue is you are not reserving the resources. So lack of reservation will produce some delays, extra delays. So say for example, you went to some restaurant and you have not reserved your table. So now the restaurant is full. So now you need to wait for your turn. But if you reserve earlier, so you can get the table instantly. So in this way, you can see if reservation is not done anywhere, then it may generate some delay or higher delay will be there. So it may depend. If your router is busy, then this case will be happen. If your router is free, then there is no issue, because if restaurant is empty, so you will get that directly access. So that will depend on the cases. Same way, you can take an example of a doctor. If a doctor have you are taking a appointment of a doctor, so you don't have to wait in a queue, so you can get the directly access. So here in this datagram network, we treat each packet independently. So the packet doesn't have a relationship. One packet doesn't have any relationship with another packet. So they are treated independently. So so each packet can be traveled through the different path. So now normally this datagram switching is done at the network layer. So there we are having the router, because I have shown you in this routing we need to add the IP address. So for adding a IP address, you need a router. Without router, you cannot add a IP address. So if for that datagram networking, you need a IP address. Now we see a figure where you can understand the datagram network. So first, there is a node. So in a packet switched network, there is a no resource reservation. So resources are allocated on the demand. So I have already discussed why the resources are not allocated and how they are transmitted from one place to another place. Now we see the figure. So you can see in this figure, I want to send a message from sender A to sender X, receiver X. Now I had divided our message in 4 parts, and this is having packet numbers 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you can see 1 and 3 is traveling from the different paths. So 1 is traveling from here, then here, and he reached up to here. Now 2 is traveling from here and he reached up to here. Now 3 is traveling from here and he reached up to, and 4 is traveling from here. So you can see all the messages which is there in your which you are going to send from the sender A will follow the different path. So at the receiver side, you will receive each message at the different instant of time. So you can say here the first message is arrived the first. So it is having the shortest path. So it may happen it is not experiencing any delay and it reached at the destination first. Now after the first arrival of the first packet, then we have received the fourth packet. Then after we have received the third packet, and then we have received the packet number 2. Now here we need to rearrange the packets to retrieve your message. So that is the last process. Now sometimes the datagram network is also referred as connectionless network. So here the meaning of the connectionless is the switch doesn't keep any information about the packet, because if you see 3 is traveling from this path, so it might happen that because he need no this router should not know which the other message should travel from this path. So the other message can travel any, or he can choose the any path from out of these different paths. So they don't have to remember the packet IP or anything. So that's why it is known as connectionless. So here you can see we are not having the setup type, or neither we are having setup nor we are having the tear down phase. So we have seen these phases in the previous one. So here, so first phase is connect, then we need to data transfer, and then we have to disconnect. That we have seen in the circuit switch network. So first you need to allocate the resources. So the fair allocation of resources from source A to source B, what you need to do? You need to request from source A. So source A is making a request. Now the request has to send to be B, source B. Then there is some delay because it is following, it is passing from some switches. So that's why this line is slanted. Once he is receiving the request, he is granting that request that now I am ready to receive the data. So once the grant signal has been received by source A, he will now transfer the data on the line or on the bus. Now once the data is arrived at the source B, then he has to terminate the connection so that your resource can be free. So here in the first phase, you have reserved the resources. In the second phase, you have transferred the data. And we in the third phase, we have disconnected the data. So first and third phase is not here. So the first phase is connection establishment, and the third phase is tear down phase. So we have gone through these three phases. So just we need to see that. Now we move to the next thing. So the total delay here is higher. So here the delay will be only the data transfer. So the time required to transfer the data. So you can see here the connect and disconnect part has been removed from the delay here. So that's why the message can be sent from source to end quickly as compared to the previous one. So we are going to see the delay diagram on this one, but just I want to share how there is done. So first reservation phase is not there and the tear down phase is not there. So these two phases are not there in this type of switching network. So now we move to the second topic, that is routing table. So here if you see we are not having the setup and tear down phases, so we doesn't have the allocation of resources. So the message has to be traveled from source to destination. So how the router will come to know that from where we need to route from, or we have to route from which path, so where we need to reach. So that's why we are having the destination addresses. So in this type of network, each switch, or the you can say the packet switch, has a table that is known as routing table, which has shown here. So this type of table will be having on each router. So the destination address, which is written on the left side, correspond to the forwarding output ports recorded by the table. So it will come to know that this message will be transferred to which address. So this is your destination address. So we are having 4 ports here. So here we are having example of 3 ports here. So each message will have some destination address. So it can be some router, it can be a end devices. So he will inform that, okay, if you need to reach at the destination end, so you need to route from this port, either port 4, port 3, port 2. So if you are having a connection between those things, then only it will choose that path. Otherwise, it will not choose path. Now we see what is destination address. So in this type of routing or datagram type of network, the each packet will carry the IP address, so which we have seen in the animation. So it will have the address of receiver or recipient. So he know where he has to reach. So when the switch, when the message is arrived to the switch, or you can say the packet has been arrived to the switch, the destination address is examined. So he will examine where we need to reach. Say for example, you are using, or you are moving from one town to another town. So there are different ways to travel. So what you are doing, first you are examining. So first you are reached at that point. So first 4-way lane you are going to reach, and then you are examining where from where we have to route. So is this path is correct, or we are having some blockage in this path? So this path is going to that point or not? So that is known as examine process. So after that they will examine and they will find if the routing path is correct, then they will choose that path. So in this way, the routing has been done. So a switch in the datagram network uses a routing table that is based on the destination address. So whatever IP address you are assigning as a header part of your packet, that has been used to route your message through the different routers. So the destination header is a header of a packet in the datagram network remains the same during the entire journey of the packet. So it will be same because it's a destination address. So it's a address of this X where you want to send the message. So that's why it will always remain same. So before moving to the delay session, just I make a comment on efficiency and then we move to the delay part. So surely you can say the efficiency of datagram network is better than the circuit switch network because you don't have the setup time, you don't have the tear down time. So obviously, it is having the better efficiency as compared to the circuit switch network. We don't have to allocate the resources or we don't have to block the resources for a particular duration of time. So that's why you can say the efficiency is better. So just if you take example, if a source send a packet and there is a delay of few minutes before another packet can be sent. So what will happen in the circuit switching? They need to first wait from which path you should follow. So packets are ready, but although the packets are ready, you need to wait. But here, what will happen? The packets are ready, so they are immediately moved from the network. So that's why you will get the lesser delay as compared to the previous one. So now we see the delay in this network. So delay in a datagram network. So sometime it may happen that in the delay in datagram network will be higher than the virtual circuit network. So we are going to see what is the virtual circuit network, but here previously we have seen what is virtual circuit network. So in the virtual circuit network, what we will do, first we will choose the best path, which can be chosen from the out of 100 or 1000 path, and that path will be same for all the packets. So that is done in the virtual switching. So in the virtual switching, you know that if there is some problem in that path, or you can say, like if you take example of a road, so many roads are there to reach to Ahmedabad. So say for example, the main highway is blocked due to some accident, and you are chosen that path. The router has chosen that path. So what will happen? They have to wait there. So that this is known as waiting time. So from when the message is traveling from one source A has sent the message, immediately the router has to wait there. So that this is known as waiting time. So he need to wait here. Then the first switch will send the message to the second router, and the second router will have some waiting time, and it will send to the message to your receiver recipient B. So in this way, your message is sent from source A to source recipient B. So this is the way for the traveling of a message. So this is used in the datagram network. So you can take a break of 2 minutes, then we will continue. Yes, Aditya, I will tell you. Just a minute. So I will tell you later on. So what you need to do in the experiment number 8. Because right now there is cut. So my laptop has been turned off. So you can share me your number. So I will call you in if what you need to do in that. So now we move to the virtual circuit. So as the name suggests, it's a virtual. So the circuit is not a real part here. So always what he will do, there may be a many paths can be there from source to destination. So what he will do, he will take a pre-planned route. So say for example, you are traveling from Rajkot to any other city, Ahmedabad. So what you will do, to your Google Maps and you will see which path is having to that path. So which will take you to Ahmedabad in the minimum time. So that path will be chosen by you. So same way, this virtual network is choosing his path. So he will choose the pre-planned route established before any packets is sent. So before sending or before anything, he will pre-plan all the routes, or he will see from where we need to send the packet. We are having the request and accept for sending and receiving the packet. So each packet here also, in each packet we are having the destination address which we need to send through the different routers. So the router will know from where the message has to be sent. So here, though no routing decision has been made because routing, all the routers will already assigned that we need to follow this path. So here, not a dedicated path is there. So if sometimes for a particular duration of time this path is selected, so for the another, you can choose the another path also. So this kind of transmission is done in the virtual circuit network. So here you can see here the packet is moving from the different path which is having the minimum delay. So A is sending the message for B and C. So the bottom path is chosen for the recipient C, and the above path is chosen for the recipient B. So the message is traveling from that path only. So the message will not be differentiated. So this is the example of, or you can say the same example which we have studied, which in the datagram network. So this is routing table. Just I have got back. So here you can see we are having the different switches and we are having the different end systems which can be connected over the switches. So this is a virtual circuit network. So this network has the different switches which allows the traffic from source to destination. So if you want to travel from A to B, you can move from the first, second, third, or any switches. So a source A, or you can say end systems, can be your mobile phone, or it can be your phone, it can be your personal computers, or it can be a laptop. So this can be there. So this type of network you can see in the virtual circuit network, and we are having a particular path will be there, which will be decided according to your best fitted path, or you can say the shortest path, or which will have the minimum delay will be chosen by your network. Now, before starting to anything, just I will let you know that what is identifier. So this is a something sometimes called addressing. So in the virtual circuit networking, we are having two types of addressing. One is known as global addressing, and second one is known as virtual circuit identifier addressing, or you can say the local addressing. So first we will discuss about the global addressing, then we will see the local addressing, or you can say the virtual circuit identifier. A source or destination need to have a global address. Means first IP, whatever IP you are using in the datagram networking, that will be having the global address. That is known as global address, and it will be always unique, and it will be same throughout the whole transmission. So it will never going to be changed. So there, those type of address is known as global address. Second, we know that local address, or you can say the virtual circuit identifier. So this identifier actually used for the data transfer only. So whenever you want to transfer the data, then only this IP or addressing will be used. So it is almost same as the global address, but it is having a small scope, or you can say that it is having a very this address will be only for the shorter duration. So if you see in the global addressing, whenever you have started the transmission, the address will be remain same up to the recipient address. But here the address will be the same from one switch to another switch. So say for example, if you are having two switches, the numbers, so for example, here 77 is written at the output of the switch and the input of the switch is 14. So this 77 will be remain same for the next switch. So after the switch, this number will be going to be changed. So this number, or you can say this address is used to know that now our switch has been changed, or we have passed from that switch, or if you are having a particular line, we have crossed that line and we are now having a different switch, or we are traveling through the different switches. So in this way, these two types of addressing is attached. So this will be always unique between two switches. Whenever it crosses the switches, the number is going to be changed. It will defined by the switch. So it will be normally defined in the port. So which port you are going to transmit the data, that will be defined your VCI number. So that will be there. So now we see the different phases here. So you can see here there is example like if you are having three ports and 44, the data first data is entering 14. So when it is traveling out from the switch, that is having the address of 41, and the second will have the 22. So different ports you will have the different PCI. So it will be depend on the table. Okay, so whatever table you are using, it will depend on the depth table. So this will be always defined in your table. So now we will see first it is a source to destination transmission. So how it is done? So it is done in the three phases. First one is known as the data transfer phase. Second one is known as setup phase, and last one is known as acknowledgement. So these three phases will be there in virtual circuit network. So we will discuss each phase what they are doing. Then we are going to discuss this figure. So for transferring the frame from source to destination, all the switches should know its table entry for its virtual circuit. So they should know that from where that this packet will be going to route. So it's normally having the four columns. You can see here the four columns are there. First column will have the port, incoming port. Then the second column will have the virtual circuit identifier, or you can say the local address. Then it will have the output port, outgoing port. So outgoing we are having port and virtual circuit identifier, or you can say the local IP. So every switch will have this kind of table. So if you see in this figure, you can able to see this table carefully. Now in this table, if you see, the incoming port is having two VCI, 14 and 77, and the output port 2 and 3 is having 22 and 41 VCI. So this will be defined. So in the data transfer phase, it will active until the source sends all its frame to the destination. Okay, so this phase will be up to that point, it will be active. Then we go for the setup phase. Okay, so we will start the setup phase in the next lecture. Till now, I will take your attendance because I don't have laptop, so the attendance will be not recorded there. So right today have to speak your enrollment number so that I can note it down. Speak your enrollment number and you can leave one by one, or you can type your enrollment number so that I come to know. AI 18 done, 13 done, 51, big data 02, 24, 31. Okay, just to type all the numbers so that I will note it down.
Sorry, I 47.
You type their number, so I'm just writing those numbers so that there will be no mistake.
सर मैसेज नहीं जा रहा चैट बॉक्स में.
AI 41.
नो सर 47.
क्या नंबर आपका?
AI 47.
47. Okay. Okay, I have noted it down. You can type your attendance and you can leave, so I can come to know that all of you have given your attendance so that I can write your number.
Excuse me, sir. Sir, hello.
Yes.
सर रिगार्डिंग नीट कैड अकाउंट सर, वो मतलब ओपन नहीं हो रहा है, मतलब लॉगिन कर रही हूँ तो जैसे सिस्को पैकेट ट्रेसर में जो आ रहा है तो उसमें मैं लॉगिन कर रही हूँ तो वो आ नहीं रहा है. उसमें या तो बोल रहा है कभी कि वी कांट फाइंड अ नेट कैड अकाउंट एसोसिएटेड विथ सिस्को अकाउंट, या तो कभी बोल रहा है क्रेडेंशियल्स एरर, ऐसा कुछ शो कर रहा है. तो लाइक बट वही ब्राउजर से कर रही हूँ तो उसमें यस सर ब्राउजर से करने पे हो रहा है बट उससे नहीं हो रहा.
ओके, तो एक काम करेंगे, आप इवनिंग में मेरे को आपके लैपटॉप का एक्सेस देना, देन आई विल सी दैट प्रॉब्लम व्हाट यू आर फेसिंग. ठीक है?
ओके सर. और
एक
सर
सॉफ्टवेयर डाउनलोड करके रखना.
सर मैं ही नहीं, मतलब और भी दूसरे मतलब मेरे फ्रेंड्स हैं, उन लोगों का भी सेम प्रॉब्लम अराइज हो रहा है. तो
हाँ, तो जिसको को प्रॉब्लम है ना, वन बाय वन सॉल्व कर सकता है, क्योंकि इसमें मेरे को हर एक का लैपटॉप और हर एक के अकाउंट चेक करने पड़ेंगे क्या हुआ है। तो आप लॉग इन
ओ,
करके दोगे तो मैं देख पाऊंगा कि क्या हो रहा है। तो अगर आपको कोई
ओके
प्रॉब्लम है
सर,
तो फिर वहां से सॉल्व हो जाएगा।
श्योर सर।
तो वन बाय वन जिसको इसको प्रॉब्लम है, तो आफ्टर 6 आई विल स्टार्ट। तो पहले आप करना, फिर उसका जैसे आपका खत्म होता है फिर दूसरे को बोलना, तो वो कनेक्ट हो जाएगा।
यस सर।
ठीक है, तो कोई भी
थैंक यू।
एक डेस्कटॉप एक्सेस करने के लिए टीम व्यूअर चाहे कोई भी, आप एक ऐप डाउनलोड कर लेना, तो ताकि मैं एक्सेस कर पाऊँ आपका विंडोज जो भी
ओके
है वहाँ
सर,
पर।
ओके सर, ओके।
तो एवरीवन हैज गिवन योर अटेंडेंस?
यस सर।
Sir, AI6.
You are remaining AI6, okay? Okay, once you complete your attendance, you can leave.